there is this new talking point that people tend to regurgitate. I trust science. I trust the doctors. Okay, I understand. I trust science as well. But unlike the laws of economics, unlike history, unlike mathematics, science evolves. Science changes. At one point, we believed that the earth was flat. Aristotle proved the laws of gravity. That's what you do with science. You have an opinion. As new studies and new experiments happen, then the consensus in the scientific community evolves. It used to be almost a foregone conclusion in the scientific community that you did not grow new brain cells. Basically, they believe that you were born with a certain amount. And since you naturally lose brain cells as you age, after 25, it was all downhill for your brain function. But after further experiments, after further studies, scientists have now concluded that you can actually create, maintain new brain cells. The term is called neurogenesis. That's because your brain has neurons. Neurons and brain cells are the same thing, just different names. They grow in the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the region of your brain that is responsible for learning information, storing long-term memories, and regulating emotions. Now, what are emotions? Emotions are feelings that come from memories, like computer programs. As you have experiences, your brain processes it through the five senses: sight, smell, taste, sound, and touch. All of that data rushes back into your brain, and it causes the cluster of neurons to organize themselves into networks and patterns. That is how you form emotions. The more brain cells you have, the more experiences you have, the more neurons, the more clusters that are formed. This has multi-positive implications. When you have new brain cells that are developed, it can help enhance cognitive functions, your ability to learn, starve off Alzheimer's. It'll also keep your memory sharp. The growth of new brain cells can also treat and prevent depression, as well as help reduce it. In order to make the most of your brain, you need to do a few things. Considering that your brain is the operating system, your brain is the hardware that controls all of your functions, from talking to sleeping to eating to perception and vision, it's probably good to have more hardware in your brain, more neurons. Not only is it good to grow new brain cells, but it's also good to take care of your brain cells you already possess. That's why you should look at things that damage your brain cells and minimize those things. One of the things that damages your brain cells, your neurons, is leaving stress unchecked. Stress can damage your brain cells over time. That's why you have to manage stress. Simplify things, meditate, prioritize your to-do list. That happens so often we get overwhelmed throughout the day. This happened to me a few days ago. I saw that a few accounts I thought I canceled, a few items were not canceled. So I went negative in the bank because of overdraft fees. I started to get tense. But what I did is I sat back, I thought rationally, and I put together the specific steps I could take to get from point A to point B. I've also been meditating for around 1.5 to 2 years now. Something else is not getting enough sleep. Scientists believe that when you sleep, it detoxes the brain. It flushes out waste products linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. Sleep deprivation, it kills a particular type of brain cell called locus coeruleus. That plays an important role in keeping us alert and awake. Also, your body wants to keep a certain level of homeostasis, meaning it wants to be natural, regulated, your temperature, your pulse, everything. When you do not have regular serotonin levels, when they're too high or too low, it causes a chemical imbalance in the operating system, which is the mind. Poor diet. The more junk food a person eats, the smaller the hippocampus tends to be. For those of you with a short memory, the hippocampus is where you learn things, where you perceive things. That's also because the bacteria in your gut creates your neurotransmitters, euphoria, adenosine, all of those fillings that you feel are created in your gut. The more healthy your diet is, the more your body produces that good bacteria, the better you feel. That's why not only does a good diet help you feel better physically, but psychologically, you tend to feel better if you have a good diet. The next question is, how do you grow new brain cells? One of the ways is by eating blueberries. It contains a dye which is linked to neurogenesis. Eat dark chocolate. Dark chocolate also has a dye which is linked to the formation of new neurons. Keep yourself engaged. Learn new skills, interact with other people, travel, try new things. That's why your comfort zone keeps you depressed. You don't form any new brain cells. What happens is your body, through neuroplasticity, which basically means that when you do something, say you learn how to play the trumpet. Let me simplify this. The more times you practice playing the trumpet, your body forms new neurons, new brain cells that are associated with the trumpet. You do new things like talk to new people, travel, try new foods, read, write, whatever it is, and your brain forms new brain cells because you are actively keeping your brain engaged. Another thing you can do to grow new brain cells is eat omega fatty acids. Avocados, tuna, salmon, and sardines promote neuron growth. Exercise, when you jog, it stimulates the production of a protein called FNDC5. Now, FNDC5 stimulates the production of another protein in the brain cell called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which stimulates the growth of new neurons and synapses. To surmise, basically running produces chemicals in your brain that produce new brain cells. Drink green tea. The compound epagallocate, I know I butchered that, found in green tea creates new brain cells. Sunlight produces vitamin D. Vitamin D increases levels of BDNF, which promotes neurogenesis. Now, how do you keep those new brain cells alive? You learn that it requires effort, a process that involves concentration in the present moment over an extended period of time. The way that you keep them is similar to exercise. I've been exercising for a period of time. I have seen a small growth in my skeletal structure. If I stop engaging those muscles in curls, then the muscles will regress to a smaller state. It's the same way with your brain cells. You can grow new brain cells, but if you don't maintain them through concentration, through new experiences, then eventually those brain cells will die. or regress.